Bienvenidos a Flow con Florido. Welcome to Flow with Florido, where we have to flow no matter what happens, donde tenemos que fluir, pase lo que pase. Today we have a special guest. He is Dr. Newman, the director of the Volunteers in Medicine, this incredible clinic that is located here on Hilton Head Island and has an incredible or beautiful story that we want to share today with you guys. Dr. Newman, welcome to Flow with Florido. Welcome to you as nosotros, all our community around the United States and, well, the world, because we don't know with this social media where we can go. So welcome, bienvenido. Hoy tenemos a un invitado muy especial, es el Dr. Newman, director de la Clínica de Voluntarios en Medicina. Y quiero que escuchen esta historia tan especial. So, doctor, thank you so much. Actually, we have been reading this incredible book about Dr. Jack McConnell. Did I pronounce it correct? Yeah, the founder? Yeah. Dr. Jack. And it's incredible how that inspiration idea is something that you guys have turned in something incredible, and not only on Hilton Head. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, you know, we give all the credit to Jack and the people that helped Jack create this, because he would admit he could not have done this alone. But he had a passion in his heart, and he worked, you know, his story was interesting. He was a pediatric doctor in training, and right before he graduated, he got diagnosed with tuberculosis. And so he was not allowed to go take care of patients. He spent the next almost 2 years sick with tuberculosis, having surgery on his lung, taking medicine, and coming this close to not surviving it. And so 2 years later, he's like, I'm strong enough to do something, but I don't know if this TB is coming back. And he was concerned about caring for children and possibly spreading TB. So his path took a different path. And so he went to do research. And at the time, as a pediatric trained doctor, we did not have a good pain medicine for kids. And when you use aspirin on kids when they're having fever, sometimes they can have problems with what's called Rye syndrome. And we were having kids dying because we would give them aspirin and we didn't have another alternative. So he helped develop a medicine to bring fevers down and to take care of pain of children. That medicine is Tylenol.
Tylenol. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, that's incredible. And yeah, we also was reading about his story, and then he worked for big companies.
Yep. So that company, McNeil Labs, got acquired by Johnson & Johnson. So you know J&J. Mm-hmm. One of their 168 companies. But he now figured out how to commercialize that which you and I know as MRI. And his final project was on the Human Genome Project. So he had a wonderful, wonderful career, even though it started off with doubt and uncertainty. But when he was a little kid, his dad at the dinner table every night would go around before anybody ate and would ask, well, what have you done to help somebody else today? And his dad was a Methodist minister. And so those questions were asked, and nobody ate until they said, here's what I did to help somebody else today.
Wow.
So all his life,
nice
you know, he was still saying, what can I do to help people? And when he got here to Hilton Head, he realized that there's a lot of people working hard on the restaurants and the resorts and the golf courses and the landscaping, but none of them actually had health insurance. And we had a lot of doctors and nurses that had retired down here that were just sitting around but not feeling very productive. And he got them together. And his idea was, how can we get the retired doctors and nurses and deliver free care and support the volunteers so that they're giving back. And anybody that retired on Hilton Head got here because they were good. You didn't retire on Hilton Head because you were okay. You got to Hilton Head because you were good. But they still wanted to give back. But they wanted to practice not okay medicine. They wanted to practice good medicine. So the model is about how do we support the volunteers to deliver great medicine? Because these are great doctors, and they're not going to be satisfied with okay medicine. And so that was 30 years ago. The idea of how to use volunteers to deliver this has been spread across the country over 120 times. So if there's a free clinic starting tomorrow in St. Louis, Missouri, it is being started under the North American Free Clinic model that we created right here 30 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. 1993 was,
Yep.
was incredible. Bueno, les voy a explicar rápidamente, so we're going to do a parenthesis here
Sure.
to explain in Spanish. Miren algo tan maravilloso. En 1993, como dice el doctor Newman, todo empieza con la historia del doctor Jack McConnell, que básicamente él, siendo un doctor muy joven, fue contagiado con tuberculosis y era un doctor pediatra, o sea, atendía niños, y por esa razón de no poder volver a atender niños y estuvo por fuera tratando y casi al borde de la muerte durante 2 años, pues lo llevó a que él se dedicara al mundo de la investigación. Y en ese lugar de la investigación logró cosas tan impresionantes como eliminar el dolor en los niños, eliminar a través de una pastilla el dolor, y es lo que hoy conocemos como el Tylenol, que es una pastilla supremamente famosa en los Estados Unidos y en el mundo. Y adicional a eso, logró otro tipo de proyectos en la medicina que han sido muy importantes, y luego llegó a trabajar a una compañía tan grande como Johnson & Johnson. Luego, en su retiro, pues llegó a Hilton Head Island, aquí donde nos encontramos, y aquí efectivamente encontró que había una gran comunidad de médicos retirados y que querían ayudar también a comunidades de personas que no tenían acceso a la medicina. Y allí empezó un proyecto de clínicas, digamos, libres o de voluntarios, y ese modelo es lo que hoy nos explica el doctor Newman, que se ha esparcido por todos los Estados Unidos más de 120 veces, es decir, hay más de 120 clínicas hoy en los Estados Unidos con este modelo que nació en 1993, y si hoy en San Luis, Missouri, o en cualquier parte de los Estados Unidos hay un equipo de médicos voluntarios que quieren desarrollar esta actividad en favor de la comunidad, allí están para que lo desarrollan con el modelo que se creó aquí en el 93. Y todo va a que cuando el doctor Jack era un niño, su padre, que era un pastor, llegaba, lo sentaba en la mesa y les decía: ¿y tú qué has hecho hoy para ayudar a alguien? Con esa pregunta respondían, se iban a dormir y al otro día se repetía, y esa ha sido la filosofía de hoy, tener aquí: ¿y tú qué has hecho para ayudar a alguien? So, what you have done today to help someone else.
Yeah.
So, it's incredible. Actually, I came to Hilton Head 2017, and immediately what community start talking to you, it's about all these incredible things that happen here on Hilton Head Island.
Yeah.
That it's incredible how everyone is always willing to help, and many people that I have heard many testimonies that they are so grateful with all the work that you guys do.
Yeah, I tell you, but it's fun, Camilo. I wish to say that we're roughing and toughing it. This is the most fun I've ever had delivering medicine in my life, and I've been doing it for 35 years. And so it is so easy to be able to, and physicians in general, you know, we've always needed to make some money, but it's never really been about the money. So when you can actually deliver healthcare and know that nobody's getting charged, it feels good. And when you know that, well, my patient may not be able to afford this medicine, but our pharmacy here delivers 60,000 prescriptions a year for free. Now, that doesn't mean your patients are going to take the medicine. It just means that they're not going to be charged for the medicine. So then the relationship is explaining to the patient why I think this medicine is important. And so we're able to have fun here in a way that we've dreamed of all our lives. But we also train. You just met one of our students. And as we train students, the one thing that we teach them is there's some joy in medicine. And I tell people, when you go into medicine, you should be called into medicine very similar to the way you get called into the priesthood. To where if you can do something else, you probably need to do something else. But if there's nothing else that's going to make you happy, this is where you need to be. But to get an opportunity to practice medicine like this is just the ultimate cream of the crop. And I am having more fun than should be legally allowed to practice medicine right here. Because I'm a surgeon, but I have fallen back in love with medicine. So I am trying to help with diabetes and blood pressure and depression and teach people about how to eat healthy, which has nothing to do really with surgery. But I have fallen back in love with medicine, and my patients, you know, are teaching me just how to love it. And,
that's amazing.
And the Latino population is teaching our community the importance of the family. Because between you and I, Camilo, I think that America has lost some of the idea of the importance of the family. But if you look at the way the United States was set up, it was all about your God and your family and what can we do without anybody inhibiting your ability to do more for you and your family. And the Latino population still has this concept of the importance of the family. And we need to learn that more and more and more. So yes, we may be helping our Latino patients, we may be helping our Gullah patients, but I tell you what, they're helping us as much, if not more. Otherwise, it wouldn't still be here in 30 years. If it's not equally supportive, it wouldn't last. But I think this is going to last because we're helping each other.
That's amazing. Pues aquí nos ayudamos todos. El doctor Newman básicamente nos comenta cómo este trabajo para él es lo más divertido que él desarrolla en su día a día, de cómo a lo largo de su carrera como cirujano, pues hoy poder estar aquí al frente de esta clínica es de las cosas que más ama hacer, no solamente como hoy veíamos también a unos estudiantes que vienen acá, tienen la oportunidad de practicar y esto pues es lo mejor de lo mejor, pero que al mismo tiempo, gracias a la comunidad hispana, a la comunidad Gulá, pues sin ellos no hay ese balance para que esto realmente sea tan importante. Y algo fundamental, el valor de la familia, la importancia de la familia. Estados Unidos fue creado creyendo en un Dios y en una familia. Y dice, y la comunidad hispana siempre viene hablándonos de la importancia de la familia, y eso es algo que también lo aprendemos, de esa importancia que es la base de nuestra sociedad y de cómo hoy compartimos y tenemos este balance. Also, during the years, normally, volunteers in medicine participate in different activities. Yeah. You guys have a festival here in Hilton Head, and we have been volunteers, and that's also another part of participating, including more community. What do we have for this 2025, 2026?
So I mean, we like to party. Mm-hmm. So we like to bring the community together. So at the first party on Hilton Head for the holiday season is the Vim Gala. And so that happens in November, and it kicks off the holiday season with a bang. And when you look at how do we afford to do this for our patients, about 30% of the dollars that come in are just supported by the community. About 30% is basically us writing grants to say, could you support us with organization support? But the other 30% is from the parties we throw. So we throw, the Vim Gala, and then comes the golf tournament, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And we go out and we just enjoy a day of golf on the golf course with people who've never heard of Volunteers in Medicine, but every single hole you hear another little story about what happens in Volunteers in Medicine. And then probably the most heartwarming celebration we do is Latinos Unidos. And Latinos Unidos is really just, it's the biggest hug that this organization gets every year, just saying thank you. But it also gets everybody a chance to experience the multi-different cultures that make up our Latino community. Because we'll have food from Colombia or Venezuela or Mexico or Peru, and everybody gets a chance to say, what's different about our Latino communities and our Latino nations? And then you get to have a conversation. But you're there also side by side enjoying the day. But within the Latino community that comes, there'll be 4 generations. There'll be kids, parents, grandkids, great-grandparents. And again, it comes back to it's a family celebration. But great music, great dancing, great food, probably too many carbohydrates, but it's a wonderful, wonderful day.
That's amazing. Pues algo fantástico también que soporta todo el trabajo de los voluntarios en medicina son sus actividades. Empiezan en noviembre con la comunidad Gala, el festival que hace la comunidad Gulá aquí en Hilton Head Island. Posteriormente está el torneo de golf, que también de cada hoyo hay una historia de los testimonios de lo que sucede aquí, y se termina o se cierra con el Festival Latinos Unidos, que es este festival que, como lo dice el doctor Newman, es el abrazo que le da nuestra comunidad de agradecimiento a todo lo que hacen los doctores aquí de voluntarios en medicina. Well, doctor, so it's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing with us. But before we go, tell us a little bit, because we know you also went to the Navy, you got to fly, you love airplanes, and so tell us a little bit about your life.
I love airplanes because I used to sit on my dad's lap when he would fly airplanes around. And so we've always been enjoying airplanes. And when I joined the Navy, I took the aviation route. And so I got a chance to do shipboard, military Navy aviation, But then once I got out of the Navy, I've still enjoyed just flying places. And what I have found, everybody needs a hobby. But if I were to go on vacation, usually it takes me about 3 days to wind down on vacation. And then 3 days before the end of the vacation, I need to start winding back up. But when I go flying, it's so focused that when I get in the plane, I empty everything else out. It's about flying now. And so I'll fly maybe for an hour, Camilo. And then when I land, then I decide what I want to let back into my brain. And so it's a great way for me to get everything out of my brain and then to control how often it comes back. So some people can do this when they run. Some people go scuba diving. Some people race cars. For me, it's flying. But when I get up there flying, it's maybe I'm just a little closer to God. And so it's like I spend time and it's a good time to try and connect with. I think why we're all here is to try and to earn entrance to hopefully, get a chance to practice medicine in heaven someday.
That's amazing. Great dream. Bueno, pues para cerrar un poquito de la vida del doctor Newman. El doctor Newman fue a la Armada, fue piloto de la Armada de los Estados Unidos, de la Navy, y posteriormente pues convertirse también en médico, cirujano y poder servir aquí a toda la comunidad. Y él dice que, bueno, todo el mundo tiene hobbies, pero su hobby especial es ser amante de los aviones, y cuando tiene esa posibilidad de ir a vacaciones, él necesita más o menos 3 días para adaptarse a las vacaciones y 3 días para recuperarse, para luego volver al trabajo. Y dice, pero cuando vuelo, mi cerebro se organiza de tal manera que me olvido de todo y que efectivamente estoy un poco más cerca de Dios, un poco más cerca de lo que nos da toda esta vida. Así que así cerramos este Flow con Florido. So thank you so much, Dr. Newman, for letting. We're going to have some image here of the clinic, of this wonderful job that all the doctors do. And of course, thank you so much for watching. Y a todos, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Vamos a tener algunas imágenes de lo que es este trabajo tan espectacular y hermoso que hoy inspira a tantas personas en los Estados Unidos y en el mundo. So we're going to have some images to show you the work, because this inspired many people in the United States, but also in the world. So thank you so much for being here with Flow with Florido today.